Anybody gonna say anything? I normally start, but I'm so irritated now.
I got you.
So annoyed. I'm so annoyed.
We here. Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. We in the building after a brutal game-winning drive by the Washington Redskins that put the knife in the heart of the Philadelphia Eagles and the fans. It's not a lot of blame to go around. I'll be honest with you. Yes, CJ Garner got thrown out. Yes, Kenny Pickett has ups and downs. I know football don't come down to one play. But if Devontae Smith holds on to the football, the game is probably over. The game is over. I'm going to change that. Devontae, he's wide open. It was no traffic. Nobody was hitting him. Devontae Smith, this is all you got to do. So, do I got a football? This all you... That's all you got to do. Just you get paid to do this. I know people drop passes. I know that he's really naturally sure-handed. He's been sure-handed his whole career. But if he just holds on to that baby pass, because Kenny Pickett ain't got a rocket, let's be honest. He put the ball in perfect play call, too, by the Eagles, whoever drew that up. Yeah. It probably wasn't Nick Sirianni, I'm going to tell you that right now. But very good play call. Catch the football. We not even going if this happened, if that happened. We're not even doing all that if he just caught the football.
Mm-hmm. All right, look.
10-3, 11-3.
You're not coming with enough frustration. You can drop any pass at any time in your career. You cannot drop this pass. This is almost equivalent to a playoff drop because it has that type of implications in it. Because we're trying to position ourselves to be the number one seed so we don't have to go to Detroit, so we don't have to go to Minnesota, and all this other stuff like this. We're trying to position ourselves to be number one seed. This is a huge catch. All right, that's first. Let me get that out the way because Ethan is right. The game is over. You make that catch. Beside that, we got hosed by the refs. We got some favorable calls, so I'm not going to say it was like a complete ref job. But them kicking CJ out of the game over some trash talking with some NBA level egregiousness. This is the stuff that this is why people start watching the NBA because the refs is calling text people trash talking and clapping their hands and all this other stuff like that, and you throwing people out the game. They throw CJ out the game on some bogusness, which was complete garbage, and that cost us because the touchdown happened. Several touchdowns happened where CJ probably would have been. So that's another thing that is frustrating me beyond what it should be. First and foremost level of frustration goes toward Jalen. The system hurts. My dude, my guy, get down. Stop running and not sliding. What are you doing? Why? This is the stuff. Ethan said this earlier. All this running, he's gonna get himself hurt. He kept saying, and people been trying to tee off on Jalen all throughout the year. They've been throwing their bodies, and the shot was a little cheap, was a little dirty, but hey, he didn't slide, so he could throw his body into him. That's the rules. He throws his body into Jalen. He hits Jalen. Jalen head hits the ground like a stinking steel slab, and now he's out the game. He's done. Lord knows how long for. Sometimes concussions the last 2 weeks. He might be going for the next 2 weeks. So a lot of my frustrations were Jalen because you got to protect yourself. You are the most important player on the field. The trio of you, Saquon, and AJ, starting with you because you're your quarterback. That's where you get paid so much money. So you got to stay on the field, bro. You got to stay on the field. You cannot put yourself in this position where you get yourself knocked out of the game. That's why I'm irritated. I'm about to log off. That's all I got to say. That's why we lost the game. And I'm about to log off now. Y'all can help me.
I agree with pretty much everything that y'all said. I'm laughing though because it's funny how now the catch has to be made when Saquon dropped the same pass. We had people argue that wasn't the game. I thought that was but no.
I think if they reviewed that might have been a catch.
Oh no! I'm talking about I was talking about the Atlanta game.
Oh, the Atlanta game. Oh yeah, I was the person who was adamant about.
You was. I know you was. That's why I'm laughing. I thought that's what you was going to come back on with the heat about somebody else saying it.
Oh,
but that being said, it was a frustrating game. And this is the issue. This is the curse and blessing that with Jalen Hurts with his running ability. But if you don't start off 1 for 4, maybe you don't feel pressed and feel like you got to run and make plays. Then you pass and make them. I mean, it seemed like Pickett is trash. Whoever put him, he shouldn't even be on a roster. He professional water a hydration assistant manager. That's what he should be. Because his arm, that's a candy arm. He got a couple plays there, you know what I'm saying, in a couple, but even with a couple, like the one to Saquon that should have been a catch, I thought that was underthrown. There was a couple of them that was severely underthrown, but that Saquon should have been a catch. And I think AJ Brown on the sideline, when he had that, I felt like it was close. It looked like to me like his behind hit the ground before they, you know what I'm saying, knocked the ball. So,
but that's kind of the rule. I guess you got to hit the ground and stay with the ball. So it was his catch and Saquon was very, very similar. Both of them catches was very similar.
Yeah.
I could see you throwing it automatically incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But it gotta be Vontae. Vontae do gotta make that catch. That catch.
Hold on,
and that's what? Hold on, what?
Nah, I wasn't trying to let Tim in.
Go ahead.
Tim's actually kind of happy we lost this game, to be honest with you.
I'm not happy at all.
A little delight in his spirit.
I'm not happy at all. This game,
he did not want Kenny Pickett to play well.
I did want him to play. I'm not like y'all. I'm root for the success of the team, as long as Jaden come back and play in the playoffs. But what angers me about this game,
when you start that, when you start being like that,
when Nick Foles played and won the Super Bowl, I still want us to win.
You wasn't like that when Carson Wentz was quarterbacking.
No,
I didn't think Carson Wentz was a winner, and I was proven right. But can I finish my synopsis of the game? I didn't like the play call. It was a lot of play. Like when Jalen went out the game, there is no reason why we should have been a shotgun the entire game. We should have been under center. So because this is what Saquon did in New York. So they don't know which angle, what side he's coming through. But if you in shotgun the entire time, they just saying, okay, Saquon is there, and we're gonna put everybody. They went from two safeties to one single safety, and they just crowded the box, and they just let them rush, and they was able to stop that run. We had 100 yards in the first quarter. He finished with 50 yards, and he barely had like 2-3 yards of carry after that first quarter. But it goes back to not lining up under center. There was no reason. We had a fullback, that big 90-yard run or 75-yard run. It was a fullback that did that led that open. We didn't do it no more. I mean, it was that was play calling. Go ahead. That was so crucial for us. Just because at first I'm like, this must be Jalen. Jalen must enjoy being a shotgun, so everything is shotgun. But Jalen's out the game now. Why don't you have some calls where you're going to specifically have that ball under center? That was huge for us. That was one thing. Two, I think they should have appealed that decision by Barkley when I felt that was a catch on the ground. I really did feel that was a catch. I don't know why.
He actually caught it, rolled, then dude jumped on him and knocked it out. So it was he was almost getting up when dude knocked the ball out.
Unless they saying the ball touched the ground on the roll, which I don't know.
What happened is he bobbled the initial catch. If he would have caught it clean and it fell and then it came out, I think you would have had a little bit more of an argument, or the refs may have not even ruled it an incomplete pass. He bobbled the initial catch, then gathered it, and then by the time he gathered, dude jumped on top of him. And that's when he kind of started rolling, and the ball came out. Either way, I do agree. I would have challenged it.
I would have too.
Why not at this point? Your offense was stagnant. It was and I can't hate on Kenny Pickett too much because he did what a back was supposed to do. He actually got us when Jalen left the game. Didn't he get us? We had 14 when Jalen left, I think.
Yeah, once he left, Saquon had that long touchdown run.
So he put at least 20 points on the board or something like that. So a lot of it was field goals, but he did what he's supposed to do. He put points on the board. At the end of the day, though, it comes down to, I know Ethan said you can't blame it on one play, but you can. You can. Just like you can blame it on a field goal kicker missing a field goal, and that's in honesty, whatchamacallit missed a 54-yard field goal to this game. Let's not forget that Jake Elliott. However, that game did come down, just like the Atlanta game, to one pass, and the game was over. I remember before we wanted to blame Jalen after the pass was dropped, and I don't hear that. I don't hear Ethan doing that to Kenny Pickett now. But I remember we wanted to blame Jalen after the pass was dropped when that game was over, and this game was the same way. If Washington would have got the ball back,
pass wasn't dropped. It was an interception.
Let me jump in.
I'm sorry. The Saquon ball was dropped. Yes, it was. The game was over. The game was over.
We still had a chance to come down. This is different because we still had a chance to come down and score.
It's not different. The game was over. Either way, the game.
Yeah, but we still had a chance. We still had the ball. We had the ball with over a minute. Washington just
Okay,
scored.
so put up one touchdown.
Washington just scored with the same amount of time we would have had against Atlanta. That's what happened, and we didn't get it done. So, but we didn't get another chance to touch the ball this game. We didn't get another chance to touch the ball. So Devontae Smith, absolutely, you blame him. Yes, I blame Devontae Smith for this.
Yeah, game. So yes, right. Kenny Pickett had a passing touchdown, and he had to run with Saquon. Yeah, so Kenny Pickett put up 20. 20.
He should have put up a whole bunch more than that. The way Washington was playing.
No, he should have. Listen, he's a backup. He put up 26 points. I'm not overly mad. 26 points for a backup is not bad when you got the number one defense in football and you got some great weapons on your team who could have iced the game. I'm not going to be overly critical.
The only reason why I'm going to be critical of it is because they basically gave you a cakewalk out there like that. They had AJ on a one-on-one situation, and he was trying to go to him or whatever.
Man, AJ dropped a couple passes. He dropped him and Jimmy. They was dropping ball. Saquon, he had three. Kenny Pickett had 3 crucial drops this game, and one being the biggest of them all. And we trying to blame Kenny Pickett for real?
No. I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him for the loss.
You called him trash. I can't call him
trash.
He's gonna win.
His arm is 50% the strength of Jalen Hurts' arm.
And he put up 26 points.
That dude can't even run. He had wide open people running around out there. We should have had more than that.
And he put up 26 points.
We would have had more than that if Devontae Smith would have caught the ball. If Saquon Barkley would have caught the ball. If AJ Brown would have caught the ball. Yes.
And if Jake Elliott would have made a field goal.
I don't care about that candy arm. I have no faith that candy arm will bring us down here to win.
All we need is one.
He did. But he did. He did bring us down. He drove us down to get the win. And AJ.
What you mean with the 2 pass interferences that we got walked down the field with?
I'm talking about the last drive.
Walked us down the field.
You talking about the ones when we walked down the field with 2 pass interferences?
I'm talking the last drive. We had 2 pass interferences on the last drive.
Oh, maybe not.
Okay then. All right then. That's what I'm saying.
He played good enough to win, but I don't care. He did play good enough to win, but his arm was trash, bro.
I would have went with the third string quarterback, to be honest with you. Matter of fact,
what? He was no better. Kenny Pickett. What are we doing?
We saw Kenny Pickett.
The dude did everything he could to win the game.
No, he didn't.
Devontae Smith dropped the pass. Y'all blaming him.
I can't with y'all.
I'm not blaming him for the loss. I just said that his arm is trash. I have no trust in him.
Next week, if Jalen's not
we haven't got to start
third string quarterback. I'm going with the third string
next week. Kenny Pickett should have a better game because he's going to get all the starter reps.
No, he's not.
Or other team is going to see what they did to him down the stretch of this game and see that he can't read a blitz either and blitz him out of his pocket.
Y'all dudes is crazy. I can't believe we having this conversation.
It was like 11 in the box out there trying to stop Saquon.
It was.
I can't believe we having this conversation.
This was also, but before y'all irritate me, because I'm gonna leave Kenny Pickett alone. This loss was not on him. This is more for real. This is the worst defensive performance I've ever seen in my life. You got turnovers, but then you gave up all these big plays on the back end. It was It was the best worst performance I ever seen. In part because CJ was gone, one of our defensive leaders. He was gone. Davis got hurt at one point in the game. I don't think he ever returned.
Slay was out for a couple plays.
Did he come back? I don't think he ever came back.
I think he ended up coming back in there, but Slay was out for a minute during it. They run. You had CJ out. Slay was out.
Had a great game. Slay had a great game. I had to give Slay. He got cooked on that one play, but he caused several deflections to give us. I think he stopped 1 4th down on deflection, and then he got that one that he smacked that. What's his name? Blankenship ended up intercepting. That play was all Slay. He actually had a great game. Quinyon, this wasn't his best performance. He's a good young bull, but 17, McLaren, he was cooking today. Yeah, that one catch he had on the sideline was incredible.
But they didn't have a lot of long drives. They started in very good field position all game long. I mean, and the refs didn't have. We got a penalty. You know, when we kick off, it's always going to be on a kicking team. No, all of a sudden it's on our team. So they ran the ball, or the receiving team. They run the ball, and then they get an extra 5 yards. Penalty.
That's true. That's true.
They had you talking about home cooking,
but I can't be mad because truth be told,
got a good portion of calls too. I'm not going with
them 2 pass interferences on AJ back-to-back. Jones was suspect. The first one up. Both of them was suspect. Because to me, the first one was absolute garbage. Now I got to cape up for Washington fans a little bit because AJ was pulling dude. He had his hand in bull shirt collar. The second one was a little bit of hand movement. Like they both contacted each other. So I can't say one is worse than the other. If the receiver is putting his hands on the D-back, in my opinion, the D-back has the leeway now to put his hands on the wide receiver. And that's what happened on that play, and they called a bogus.
Well, give it to me late in the game. Don't give it to me in the middle of the game when I don't really need it. If you're going to cheat for me late.
They did because the game was over. If Smitty catches the ball, then if Smitty catches the ball, we can tune into a Washington podcast that will be complaining about those 2 calls and several others that happened because the game will be over. The game was over. They hooked us up. They hooked us up on 2 calls. They got us in position to score a field goal. We got the field goal out the possession, and then we was coming down later in the game to ice the game. It would have been over.
Hold on, wasn't Jalen? I mean, wasn't Saquon's big run when Jalen came out the game?
Yes,
it was. Yeah.
So, Quest, what are you talking about? Hurts?
They just didn't adjust at the time. The defense didn't adjust.
Yeah, the defense didn't
adjust.
They
made an adjustment. Once the defense made the adjustment, it was locked down on Saquon Barkley. They had linebackers in the backfield as soon as the ball was hiked because they had no respect for that quarterback. They wasn't worried about him keeping the ball running outside. Maybe they should have tried that a couple more times. I'm just saying that run that they happened, they still was playing in that same defense they was playing with Jalen Hurts. What I'm saying is once they made their adjustments, once they're like, we're gonna keep only one safety back, and we're gonna bring everybody up, crowding that box. Saquon had no shot. He had no shot. You saw it. And that's why I said it make more sense to be under the center. And then I'm running with I formation with a fullback blocking for it.
Defense did give it 22 points. That's why I said this was the worst defensive performance I've ever seen. Now they got the offense did and a lot of times.
Well, you got to look at all right. The one touchdown they got was because we had 12 men on the field. When Slade was coming back in the game after he was out. When he was coming back in the game, somebody else didn't run off the field. So then Slade saw the numbers and he tried to run off the field. That's why dude was wide open and got the one touchdown. So that wasn't them marching down on us and scoring like that. I think that was like a 3rd down play or something like that. And it was Slade coming back. It was some kind of mix up and the dude was wide open.
But still, okay, that's one touchdown. What happened to the other 15 points? Like we gave up. We was giving up a lot of movement. They was moving up and down field a couple times. They started inside their 5. And they still moved the ball. It was
Washington. Let's not act like Washington got a trash offense.
They don't.
Yeah,
they don't. Are they the number 1 ranked offense in the
Did
NFL?
we not have players out?
I thought we not have defense in the league.
We didn't. And then when they did a lot of that, a bulk of that damage was when CJ Gardner-Johnson went out the game.
I could give you that. I'll give you that.
And Slade was out for periods of time too.
Shout out McCall. He said this game gives the Eagles a chance to regroup and get ready for the playoffs.
I can agree with that to a certain extent.
That's what I came on. That's how I came on feeling about it. It's like, all right, get the loss out the way, even though it's.
I don't like that.
I don't like either, but I don't like being on no. I don't want to run into the playoffs on no 13-0 run because it's like you know how stuff end up happening, bro. You know what I'm saying with football.
But here's what I will say though, I didn't like the dramatics of Ephraim when he first came on.
Why not? What about my dramatics didn't you like? What did I say that was incorrect about Jalen? Because I brought up Jalen's name and you got all. No. I'm gonna tell you why you mad. If somebody trying to bring up Jalen, you get all your panties in a bunch because you don't like hearing the truth. The truth is,
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point? The point I was making is he was right.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. Thank you. I need this much. Thank you.
The point is he can't do that. You can't. First of all, you got to slide. That's the whole thing. If you slide, that doesn't happen. First of all, I know y'all. I know the boys that's on defense. A lot of dudes that's on defense right now. They are not from America. Or they're not Americans. So they play a little different when it comes to football and defense. A lot of us are being hit. They're from other countries. They hit a little different. And we got hit by a Samoan boy that knocked the ball out.
That was a Samoan that hit.
Yeah. And then you know the boy the other day.
He did what he was supposed to do.
I know, but they're trying to take the total violence part out of tackling. So because you know this, you gotta play smarter. Just slide. Just take the slide.
I agree.
Just slide.
That's what I was saying. He's too important to the team.
But he don't do that though. A lot of times
he likes to run. Some quarterbacks run because they got to. Jalen actually enjoys running, but you're not.
He kind of got to too.
No, he enjoys it. He don't got.
But he kind of got to too.
That's his go-to passer.
I mean,
he's a solid passer.
That adds to his repertoire. Boys got to go back and look at Cam Newton. One of the things that ended Cam Newton's career early, same thing. He wanted to try to run everybody over. He thought he was bigger. He was 6'4", 260, 270 pounds. He was King Henry playing quarterback. And he enjoyed the fact that he could run people over. Guess what? Until you couldn't. Until boys started, yo, pause. We're going to keep hitting on you.
A lot of pause.
Boys, you're going to keep
he said, take that.
Boys going to keep, but honestly, they used to do the same thing at camp. Dudes would literally throw their whole bodies at camp. They was trying. He would be in the grass, and somebody else would come flying over, and another dude would come flying over because he was a big dude, and you was trying to inflict that pain. Jalen's known to squat 550, 600 pounds, and all sorts of stuff like that. Solid, stocky dude. So that's what they're going to do because you know why too. Cam used to get up anytime he would truck somebody, he would get up flexing and celebrating and Superman and doing an arm joint and all this stuff like that. So guess what? When you come with that ruckus, they're gonna bring it, and that's exactly what keep happening to him. We've been saying this for weeks.
But
He's been taking shots at Jalen, vicious shots, and it finally caught up with him. Get down.
Do you see anybody? Have you ever seen anybody get ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct for talking trash? Like in a game, I don't like what you said. Because remember, the first penalty, the bull knocked his helmet off, and CJ was like, "You see?" And the refs was like, "No, I'm calling on you." Then he talked about the bull mom, and they said, "I don't know what he did, but the referee decided I'm going to flag CJ Garner-Johnson instead of the person who actually hit him." That was in the first half. The second half, they didn't even show the replay. We don't even know what was the play that ejected him. They just said he's been ejected. Did y'all see it? Because maybe I missed it.
I think he walked by and whispered to the ref. He said, "Your mom." And then
it had to be something for. What did he? They never.
I don't know. All he kept saying the way out.
If y'all sold it, can y'all please post it or let us know?
Oh, wait. Yeah, Mr. Wing, I was about to address that. Lester, you got to be trolling. Talking about the Eagles. Hey, listen, how you a pretender when you won 10 straight games? This game you just lost was to a division rival, the second best team in the division, and you lost a starting quarterback 11 plays into the game, and you still went down to the wire. How is this exposing holes in the Eagles? Where are you seeing? And we had injuries on defense. It took all that for them to get down there and win this game. I have no fear of facing Washington again. We smoke them.
I mean, you played top tier teams, and your defense is still number one ranked defense. You played top tier offenses. Cincinnati, good offense. You played Baltimore, good offense. Was it second time playing Washington? Who else we play in between? I can't remember. Somebody with Pittsburgh.
We played Buffalo?
Pittsburgh. No, we ain't played Buffalo.
We ain't played Buffalo this year.
Pittsburgh, another good offense. Put the smack down on them. Actually completely shut that offense down. I think that was the less yards they had in over 20 years or something like that. So when your defense is number one and your offense is in the top 10, you're a legit team. There's nobody that can be otherwise. So I think our offense is number 4 or was number 4 before today. But if we'd have had Jalen, another thing that kind of irritated me was the announcers kept kind of saying like Washington had turned the ball over 4 times or 5 times. They're still in this game against the number 1 team in the league and all that. It's like, that's true, but contextual, bro, calm down. They done took CJ out the game and we lost our starting quarterback. If we had Jalen, I'm telling y'all, I know somebody tried to say to throw a little shade on Jalen on this one and said, despite Jalen being out, Kenny Pickett still scored 26. So that's more of an indictment on Jalen. If Jalen was in this game, we'd have had 40, 47.
I agree.
Points. We don't want to put up 50 if Jalen was in the game. I could almost shoot the way.
There's no way they would have sold out on Saquon like that with Jalen with the option of Jalen running on the outside. There's no way they sold out.
Yes. Thank you. Saquon would have had probably 170, 200 yards this game. Because what he end up with 150, Tim? He ended with 150?
I said 150. I don't know.
Can you imagine if Jalen was in the game?
That's for getting shut down in the second half.
The game he'd have ended with 200 yards.
Yeah.
Oh man, come on, stop. Because I hear you with no Pickens, but still, this. I'm not even Pittsburgh. We ain't played one team to get the number 1 ranked defense. We had the number 1 ranked defense for a reason. We shut down everybody. We shut them all down. You see what Baltimore just did the other night? They put up what 30 something, 40, almost 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we're the number one ranked defense for a reason. We got normally solid tacklers. They flying all over the field. We had 5 turnovers today. That's why I said it was the best and worst defense, and I can't even necessarily knock the defense that hard. I'm not going to be that overly tough on the defense because it's a division game as well, so you kind of know each other a little bit more. So stuff like that going to happen. But if Jalen was in this game would have been over by. Jalen would have been sitting in the fourth quarter because we had been up by so much. I'm telling you now.
And Kenny Pickett also he kind of sacrificed his receivers to the football guys. A lot of the throws was like killing his players.
Just one.
No, it was two. He was AJ. It was a Devontae pass. It was a couple of them. Because his ball is slow getting there. It's slow. So you say his ball wasn't slow getting there? Don't sit there.
That was very slow.
The ball don't have to work like that.
Catch up with it.
But for the most part, he put the ball in a lot of catchable spots. This is why I'm so irritated. Even the Saquon pass, it's a catchable ball.
Offense and defense.
Huh?
It was catchable for offense and defense.
How many interceptions you throw beside the one?
I'm not talking about the interceptions. I'm talking about the fact that the closeout, that closing out. I'm not hating on Kenny Smith.
I feel like we're trying to put Kenny Pickett underneath a radar.
No, I'm not saying because he played well enough to win. Like one of y'all said, he played well enough to win. But it was very unfulfilling watching him pass the ball. That thing had no zip on it.
Not at all. With 5 turnovers, you got.
The bottom line is the game was over if the boy Smitty catches the ball over the middle. This is a jovial. This pod takes a more jovial turn if the ball catches. If he learns how to catch the ball, simple joint across the middle. And I'm hating, but I got love for Smitty. But that play irritated me, just like the Saquon did. Week 2, what was that? Week 2, week 3, when Saquon dropped the ball, and I was saying the same thing. I was coming down on him because that was irritating. These are not hard passes. These are not the level of difficulty is not the hard. That catch, McLaurin, whatever his name is, that joint he caught, that was a bad thrown ball, and he tracked that ball and it made it
very well.
A fantastic grab.
This was a tough game for the rookie, yo.
And all we asked Smitty was to turn around and catch a slant across the middle. That's it.
All right, turning your attention to the other side of the ball to Washington. Turn your attention to the Washington Commanders. What are your thoughts on their offense and their team as a whole? Because I'm looking at the boy we had last year, Alamed Zacchaeus, he had a pretty solid game today. I'm looking at it now.
Washington's had a top-notch offense for a lot. I mean, they put up some big numbers in games this season, but their defense has a lot of holes, in my opinion. I've seen too many teams put numbers up on their defense, including the Pickens putting numbers up on them. Washington's defense, to me, they're not. Their defense, to me, causes them from being a viable threat in the playoffs, in my opinion. They had tough offense. No, I don't think they got good enough defense.
I think Jalen Daniels, though, he got potential. I mean,
he's baller.
He had 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I'm looking at him like he's a winner. You know how Jalen Hurts is a winner. Like their stats might not be all gaudy, but they know how to close out games. I mean, 6 seconds left in the game, and you throw the winning touchdown pass. And this is the second time. This is not even the second time. This is like 3rd, 4th time he did this year. Miracle games. Like, are they miracles or are they just?
The whole Mary was a little suspect. I mean, that was a miracle. I mean, you just threw the ball. I'm not even gonna give you credit for that because you just throwing the ball. Today's pass, great read, great throw. I gotta give him that. He's a solid quarterback. He cool. He's solid. I mean, they got an up and coming team. I don't think they're ready to contend yet, but they got an up and coming team because you got a good quarterback, and that's the reason why I'm saying this game to me came down ultimately to Jalen getting hurt because normally who has the best quarterback and a solid defense wins the game. We got both, and that's why we had a record 10 straight wins because we got the best defense in the league and one of the top offense in the league and one of the top quarterbacks. Your quarterback is Jalen was playing the way he started off. He was moving. He was either running. He was passing. I'm telling you, there's no way we get 5 turnovers and lose with Jalen Hurts. No way in this world that happens.
And I thought you probably would like him because he threw to 8 different receivers caught passes. and he had 9 rushes for 81 yards. Yeah,
I mean, that's why we was able. Listen again. That's why he was able to put up 26 points. He got the ball, he moved it around, and that's another reason why we would have won. And Smitty would have caught the ball.
Yeah, Smitty got to catch that.
Oh,
he got to catch that.
You got to catch it, bro.
Yeah, it was like it seemed like it was a small window too, where they just started dropping.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm blaming on Smitty. It's all Smitty's fault.
It got to come to, because games can come down to one play. It is so much that happens in the course of a game. Why plays happen? Why plays don't happen? Why some drops and all this kind of stuff like that? It all comes down. It can all come down to one play, and it did. And the game was over. The game was over. If he catches the ball, worst case scenario, Washington gets the ball back with no timeouts with probably under 20 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, like whatever. But what we now? What's our record?
We 3, so we should be locked into the 2 seed right now. So if that's the case, if we do get locked into to the 2 seed, what's 2 games left?
Yeah, we're 12.
If the final game of the season don't mean anything, are you playing Saquon if he has the ability to get that record?
No.
That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But it also could be an injury and could cost you a Super Bowl.
It could cost you a Super Bowl run.
I mean, how far it also depends on how far away he is from the record. If it's like he got to run 100 yards to get the record, then you know what I'm saying. But if it's something like he's like 25 yards short, 40 yards short, I ain't mad at it.
Where's he at now? Yardage wise.
He needed 100. He got to average like 140 coming to the game. Like he had to average like 140, 130, 140 to break the record.
So he got the average.
He got the average. So next week
he needs to do the next 2 games too.
140. Got to average like 140 in the next 2 games.
I'm so irritated with Jalen. I mean, I don't know. I guess I would see how everything unfolds for the rest of the day, and then next week, you don't know. I mean, anything can happen. Fluke can happen. Dallas or Detroit rather could lose another game because I think Detroit and Minnesota play each other next week, don't they?
That they play in the final game of the season, Detroit, Minnesota.
So,
but they need to lose 2. They basically got to lose out in order for us to.
I told y'all Detroit was a well-oiled offense. Y'all thought everybody Jared Goff garbage and all this other stuff like that. Detroit, not saying the Bears are some monster house team, but Detroit spanks them team. They offense moves the ball. Goff gets get that ball in his hands fast. I'm telling you. And McCall, by the way, yes, we're going to shut y'all down next week. We're going to destroy Dallas next week. Destroy. That's what you play, right? We play Dallas.
We play Dallas next week and finish off with the Giants.
We're going to destroy Dallas next week, especially if Jalen plays over. We're going to destroy the Cowboys. Bloodbath style. Yes. I'm
a little irritated. I'm getting irritated more.
Very irritated.
Because this was not a winnable game. This was a game that was won.
Hey, we got Washington fans. What's up, Car whatever, Car W, as I'm gonna call you. You said my boy Jaden is him. I guess he's saying put some respect on his name now.
Hey, pieced us up. Did he? 5 turnovers? Did he really piece up our defense? I mean,
he only turned the ball over twice.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't until then. Yeah, when our starting safety got out of the game, yeah, he started doing. I like Jaden. I like Jaden.
I'm gonna put respect on the boy Jalen's.
I've been putting respect on his name since I think like the 2nd or 3rd game of the season. I like the bull look like he a baller, but let's keep it in context. Let's get context of the story today. Like, it wasn't like he was just cooking. They had to take our starting safety out of the game, and then Slade was out a little bit. So
that was so funny. Like, how do you take the starting safety out of the game for talking? What can you possibly say to be like, yo, you're ejected? And then because there's no replay.
The only thing, the closest thing that reminds me of, y'all remember this had to been, I think this was the TO year. That Atlanta game, we played Atlanta. They kicked, I think it was a trotter out before the game even started. Remember?
Yeah, it was Atlanta game because Ike Reese got it. It might have been a season opener. Ike Reese got him hyped up. It got him all riled up, and they got him up.
So it was a Monday Night Football game. Before the game, by the time they came back from commercial, they was announcing that he was getting kicked out. Everybody's like, huh? Like, what happened? It was it was a little fight between before the game started. He got kicked out. That's what this kind of remind me of because it is like we don't even know what happened. I don't even think we ever really found out what happened in that situation.
They said
so like,
Ike Reese told the story because Ike Reese was on Atlanta. That was his first. He was coming back. His first. He just left the Eagles the year before, and he was on Atlanta. and he was going after Trot to get him hyped up and riled up, and he got Trot so riled up that Trot got kicked out.
What did he do to get kicked out?
I can't remember. I know he was on the radio talking about it years ago.
So that's what it remind me of. This was an NBA type ejection. You know, you seen them goofy NBA ejections with somebody. Remember when Tim Duncan was on the sideline? And who was that? One of them goofy behind reps or something.
Yeah, that dude used to hate Tim Duncan. Yeah.
But this remind me, I was watching a clip and they showed all these goofy ejections and technicals. They showed Sabonis one time, missed a layup. He was clapping his hands, telling to the teammates, like, let's go. The ref turns around and texts him. And he like, I'm talking to my own teammate. Like, it remind me of that. Like, unless they come out and say that he says something real sideways to the referee.
What did he say? What can you say to the referee?
Yeah. I don't know.
Talking about his wife or something. I don't know. He had to say something crazy. That's what I'm saying. It was goofy. I didn't like that at all.
They did it, the last one they did during a television timeout. Like, it wasn't even in play. Like, how can you do that?
Right, you just come back and see him getting kicked out. Like what happened?
I'm flabbergasted. I don't understand it.
Hey, listen, the concussion hit. Yeah, that concussion hit. Yes, it was intentional.
Yes,
Did you not hear what? You must not hear what Ephraim was saying. Listen, when you got these quarterbacks that be running and flexing, they running hard and they run bulls over every once in a while. Yes. You got to remember, and quarterbacks do this to themselves, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I've seen too many times where quarterbacks actually fake a slide, like do a move like they about to start slide and then keep on running and run through somebody or run around somebody. So if you look like you going forward and you ain't showing no slide at all, I'm lighting you up if I'm a defender. I'm lighting you up. That's why you're supposed to slide.
That's absolute facts because you know.
Oh no, he definitely tried to go back in. Go ahead, Ephraim.
Jalen's running somebody over. He gonna get up doing all kind of flexing. He gonna be kissing the guns and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, this is what I do. Yep. So guess what? This is what they do. This is why I said these dudes ain't playing. They not playing. Which I know Tim said they trying to take some violence out of tackling. You can only take but so much physical aggression and violence out of the game.
He should have been called for a penalty. He should have.
No, he shouldn't. He should have.
I would have called it.
I'm not hating. Jalen should have got his behind down on the.
Jalen should have got down.
I will say this though. If it was Patrick Mahomes, it would have been a penalty. Yes, it would have been. If it was Patrick Mahomes, it would have been 3 flags, and Andy Reid got a flag that he threw out the times and tell the rest what the.
And I'm gonna tell you too, if I'm a ref, I'm not all quick to call that for Jalen. Ain't the same dude do the tush push like 50 times a game, getting his head down in there, running in the balls. Like, nah, I ain't going for no diving for extra yards, and I'm gonna give him a penalty. Like,
I'm not calling it based off that. If the hit is dirty, it's dirty. But
no, if it's dirty, I agree.
It's a legal hit. It's a legal
hit. I agree.
He was running. He was going down. I've seen everybody get hit, like running backs and all that. As you going down, somebody take another shot at you, and that's what happened. He was still up. He wasn't down when the dude came in. His body, his force just smashed Jalen to the ground extra hard, and that's when his head, hit the turf. That joint was up.
Just to give you the mindset of defensive players when it comes to stuff like that. I'm trying to think, who was the quarterback? No, it was Kaepernick. They were doing that run pass option or whatever. And what's the guy name? I just forgot him. The white boy that used to light everybody up for not Sanford, whatever it was. He was like, I'm not even going for the ball. He was like, as soon as I'm not going for the running back. He said, as soon as it looked like it's one of them plays, I'm just going to go. He was for Green Bay.
Oh, the one who hurt Kevin Cobb.
It might have been, yeah. The boy he was out there hitting everybody, but I know he was like, listen, I'm not going after the running back. If it's an option play like that, I'm simply going to go hit Kaepernick. And that's when dudes start doing that, because dudes start feeling like that. When you doing that and all that running around and you get the favorable flags and all that other stuff. Matthews. Yeah. Was it Clay? Which one was the good one? Because we had the bad one. It was 2 of them.
Yeah, we had the suspect ball.
we had the one play for good one. One play for Green Bay, and the other one should have been. I think
Clay. What he like Thor? They called the ball Thor. So what he like? He had the long hair, whatever.
Yeah, Clay. I think was the good one. I think Clay Matthews was the good one.
All right, maybe.
I can't remember which one was the one we had.
But that's how these dudes be feeling about these quarterbacks, these running quarterbacks, especially the ones that do power running and want to flex and all that. Oh, they trying to light you up. They was trying to light Mike Vick up, but he wasn't even running people over.
Yes,
you make fools out of people. They gonna try to. That's why they was trying to break Saquon in half the day. It was like, oh, we got the numbers back there. We hitting him.
That slow ball.
They feel, and it is true. If we hit you enough, you ain't gonna run. These defenders don't want to chase these bulls around. So they want to.
This may slow Jalen down in the future.
Oh, it should. It better slowing down. Not slowing down, but just better make him get down.
Yeah, like get down, Negro. That's the one pet peeve I have about Jalen. It's like you don't have to run, and even that one play. What's the ball name? He didn't have to run. He came out the pocket. That pocket was still solid and short.
Oh yeah, he stepped right up into the pocket and got hit.
Yeah.
No, you talking about when he ran. Tim thought the play he ran. He didn't even get hit.
When he tried to chuck. You talking about when he tried to chuck the joint?
He ran out
way earlier. Okay.
This might have been like his second or third drive of the game, and he had a very crisp pocket. And just I think he ended up throwing it away or ran out of bounds.
Yeah, he ran and just threw it out because they chased him.
I will say, as the game went on, he settled in. He stayed in the pocket. He hung in the pocket a little longer and didn't leave till he had to. But that's what happened when you kind of come in a game cold, not expecting to play and all that kind of stuff like that. That's what happens. You're going to make some plays that's uncharacteristic. I agree with you too, Mr. Wayne. If he just stayed in, I said that earlier, we'd have smoked the Commanders. Chris Hatcher, he said it's December. The ground is rock solid, like when Hurts messed up his shoulder against Chicago in 2022. Yeah, that's another thing you got to take into consideration. You're right. You running that ground is definitely rock solid. It was 30 degrees down there. Overnight, it was probably in the teens or low 20s. So that ground is hard all night long, all day. Yeah, that's what you got to be careful of.
So I don't mind going to Minnesota or to Detroit because they both are climate control environment. So this might be the best thing for us. Imagine playing.
I still want to play home. I still want to play. I want to get them out in the elements. I want to get them out. We might look even better. Because clearly,
yeah, I mean, I actually like our team. I like our team in good weather. I like our team. We got speed.
Yeah, we got the
end hit a little bit.
I agree with that. I can agree with that.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Detroit defense is banged up, so we got to go to Detroit. I'm comfortable.
Very bad. I do agree with that. They missing a lot of people and they best pass rusher.
Yeah,
who that boy tore his ankle up. Was that his ankle or something? I watched that game. That play was nasty. But yeah, I mean, listen, when you got the defense like we got, my main thing I was scared about was getting too many injuries. So I know Davis got a little nicked up. I don't think, Slayer's always in and out the game, so he cool. Everybody else I think was cool. I don't think we got outside of Jalen, no real major injury. So you want to
Josh Sweat left out the game, and that's why we kind of like.
But he came back in
though. Yeah, after he came back in.
I know that the boy Huff is coming back. Remember?
He is. Well, what did he do with his hair?
Well, he had the surgery a few weeks ago, and then it's healed. So he's back into they opened the window.
So is that why he was stinging early on because he was injured or something?
That's what I'm.
Well, he started to come around a little bit, but then at that
he did make a couple plays. You're right.
I know Wayne is a hater, but
I'm asking a legit question. You said he just went and got the surgery, so I'm like, oh, so was it something that they was trying to play through it?
He was trying to play through it, but he couldn't.
I'm hating if I asked a legit question.
No, because it didn't seem like it was a legit question. It seemed like he was hating on the ball. But if you said it was a legit question,
so is that why he was struggling early on because he was injured? But evidently, no, he was just thinking it up early on and then got hurt. That's all I was trying to find out.
But here's what I will say: he's saying that he's healthy. And so he should be able to come back next week. They opened the window for him to restart practicing this week, and he did. So maybe
now that our D tackles is dominating on the inside again, maybe he can get something on that corner.
I'm still going with the third stringer this week. I've seen enough of Kenny Pickett from last year when he was with Pittsburgh, and also when he was with today with us and in preseason. That young boy that they had, our third stringer, is actually a solid quarterback. I don't know if y'all watching the preseason, but he played very well.
But Kenny Pickett did put us in position to win the game and put 26. He scored 2 touchdowns. We had 2 touchdowns and then field goals. We unfortunately get no touchdowns after that. But he put up 26 points and he threw the pass that, I mean, honestly, Who could
Yeah, he
even
didn't stink it up. He didn't stink it up.
let's give it a beat. Who would
Might
have
be
threw
giving
that
the
pass
team
better?
a whole week to prepare for Kenny Pickett.
Who would have threw the ball better than that pass? It could not have been thrown any better, and he dropped it. It was right there, eye level. He had a chance actually to catch. It was such a good pass.
Yeah, it's a catch and run.
Yes, he had 2 chances at catching it.
I'm not
Come
saying
on,
that.
man. You get me riled up again.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I'm going with the third string quarterback next week.
I just don't like the way he threw the ball, but he played well enough to win. He played more than well enough to win.
Urban Uncensored Sports Talk. He can't. He thank you for joining the show. He somehow is he really blaming Kenny? Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily blaming Kenny. He's just saying he thinks the third string is better.
That's
I don't know.
I just think he's better than Kenny Pickett.
He could be. I'm not even saying he's not. All I'm saying is the game should have been won. That's all I'm saying. And it was Kenny who was throwing the ball that should have won the game for us. That's all I'm saying. But it is what it is. What's our record? 12 and 3, 13. What we 13 and 3?
12 and 3.
12 and 3. That's a great record. If we finish the season with 14 and 3, that's an exceptional year that you had in the NFL. And considering we lost our starting quarterback in the first quarter after like this first 2-3 drives.
Yeah, we'll see. Watkins said he agreed with you, Tim. He said the third string. He's saying the third string is better. I guess that's what he's agreeing with you on. So
thank you.
All right, let's see. What's with McKee?
No, we probably won't see. Pickett gonna be back out. Jalen's not gonna sit on the side for too long. He gonna have to have headaches and all kind of other stuff in order for them to not let him play.
I agree. His head this match, you might meet it, Tim. Oh, it's acting up. Go ahead.
No, I was saying Jalen is going to try to get back, but he got to pass the protocol. He got to go through the whole thing they got going on the concussion protocol to get past, just to get the okay to practice with the team.
Right.
Saquon 29 carries for 150 yards, 5.2 yards a carry. Yeah, if Jalen was in that game, Saquon would have had a deuce. He'd have been easily on his way to get this record. He messed around, would have had 220 or something if he'd have stayed in this game. Real talk. Yep. Real talk.
No argument.
Here's the we gotta win. Washington still got a chance to kind of win the division. It's not sold up yet. We gotta win at least one of these 2 games.
We mopping Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is done.
All right.
Dallas and New York, they gooses to cook. If Jalen played this game,
I really thought our defense was unstoppable because that's what I remember last year with the 30th ranked defense. But this game, my defense looked terrible, but good at times, which is so weird.
Yeah, so I said it was the worst performance. It was like it was big plays we let out that we not uncharacteristically have let out, have not let teams get this year.
But that's what I'm saying. To me, a couple of those plays was just miscue. Like the one touchdown they got them back into the game was, like I said, it was 12 men on the field. Somebody didn't run off when Slade was coming back on. Then Slade left, and it left that whole side open because nobody. And then the other guys finally realized like dude was wide open. So
that was one.
Then the one
it was another one that was.
Quinyon Mitchell got cooked on the one John, but that McLaren made that adjustment for the catch. McLaurin.
Yeah, that was 2.
Then you had the one in the back of the end zone that the white backup safety ball took CJ spot, let him get him and Bond. That was him and Bond fought a little bit because Bond should have turned his head a little faster on that. The last play I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying. See, to me, like when I look at and you don't take nothing from Washington, they made plays, but I'm looking at if CJ's not throwing out that game, I don't think we lose even if CJ finished this game out.
I could kind of agree with that. I'm just so irritated after that pick that Slade batted and Blankenship grabbed. It was no way you could have told me we were going to lose that game.
That's so good.
And then Devontae showed up.
Devontae said, "Hold my beer." He said, "We got this in the bag. Don't even worry about it." Devontae said, "Hold my beer."
He did. He did. Oh, Devontae, you my young boy, so I'm not going to come down.
You know what the funniest part is AJ can't even get hyped out about it because you know how AJ you be pouting around. But look, Devontae probably look at AJ probably like, "Oh man," Devontae probably what? No, you didn't say nothing.
And the crazy thing is, they was talking on that accountability. Devontae and AJ, we just gotta be accountable. We start to hold everybody accountable. Well, this is the night that y'all gotta hold yourselves accountable.
Yeah,
both of y'all made mistakes in this game. Both
they did in the clutch.
This is why, I know Jalen had to get called out because he wasn't making some throws. I understand that, but this is why you gotta make sure that you don't go completely off on your quarterback because you only one play away from being that dude. Man, and now Devontae Smith is going to be him all week long. Forget all the other stuff. Forget the Saquon drop. Forget the A.J. Brown drop. Forget the interception by Pickett. Forget the defensive lapses and all that. Forget all that. Forget Slade running on the field, running back off. This play right here is the play everybody going to talk about because the game was over. It's like the Saquon drop against Atlanta. Yep. Remember what Saquon said he did? Did y'all see that interview I sent with Saquon said after that drop? He said the next day he went. I think he talked to somebody. He said I had to talk to somebody, get my hair right. He said I went and caught 200 passes, 200 balls the very next practice. That's what Smitty going to do. Get your mind. And I know you can catch. I know you're confident. Go back to the lab. Catch. Get your confidence back. Because that joint can be a little bit of a confidence rocker a little bit in that crucial moment. You drop a pass like that. I can eat at you a little bit.
Jalen should go in there and call Vontae and Brown in there and ask them when they get back to say, "Is that what you want?" Remember how you did the press conference?
All that smack.
Unsaid to service thought AJ better not say a goddamn thing. I agree. AJ better not say nothing. No, nobody
looking at them. Everybody got the side eye on him. Like if this bull come in, somebody look at if this bull say one thing.
Oh man, whoo! Fire. I'm glad that the pod kind of got my irritation. My son mad at me for blaming Jalen for getting himself hurt, but that's the facts of the matter. He texted me a second. You please stop saying it's Jalen's fault. It is Jalen's fault. He got to get down. He got to get down.
He got to get down. But I'm not gonna sit there. You ended your opening monologue with. And the biggest culprit of all was Jalen Hurts. And I'm not.
Okay, why'd I say
all that? I say is my favorite host on Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast, Tim, always like to say the best ability is availability. Jalen wasn't available.
It was one of them bulls on defense who continually keep taking out these players. The defensive players they keep putting on this in the field.
Offensive players put themselves in a position for that. Yep.
Their job is to
throw the ball, stop running.
Their job
because we're not gonna let it slip by that Jalen did start off 1 for 4 with 11 yards.
It's all right.
Before he got out.
You always gotta get warmed up though.
Exactly.
Why though?
You're not perfect, so why he gotta be perfect?
I didn't say he gotta be perfect.
Yes, you are, basically.
That's 25%. That's not perfect. That's not even half perfect.
It's 4 plays.
That's not even 50%.
He always got to get warmed up. We know this is no surprise to nobody. It takes Jalen to the second quarter to get warmed up in most games. So, and he was running. In the meantime, he was running. He had how many rushing yards he had before he got his wig split?
That's the problem.
Yeah, 47 yards. Like he had 3 carries for 47 yards. Pickett had 3 carries for 13 yards. That's the difference between one quarterback versus the other.
Oh, absolutely. I no doubt that was the biggest difference. But neither one of them could throw. So let me see.
Are we going sidebar? Are we going to talk about the Sixers against smoked last night by Cleveland, or are we going to just move on and act like that game never happened?
It never happened.
What game?
Okay. I told you, by the way, Paul George is a suspect. Another game, he played like complete dookie, 12 points. He was like 2 for something. I'm done with Paul George. Bro. I'm telling y'all, I wish we'd have never got the ball. I was a little optimistic.
I feel the exact same way as far as I wish you never got him.
I'm done with Paul. I'm done.
All right, we're gonna wrap this thing up. As far as NBA talk is,
if any game,
he be back on tomorrow though, right?
If any game, it's time for him to show up without Joel Embiid, without McCain. You got it. Come on, this is what you give me, bro. You getting paid all this money, and you was brought here as that type of player to at least in spurts when we don't have the big man to come in and be able to give 20, 22, 25. Come on, bro. You give me 11, 12 points. This is what come on. Bro. I'm done. I'm done with Paul George, bro. He a podcast dude. He a pretty boy. Want to be pretty boy podcast. That's what we do. Let him do it.
They
I
say
can't
it's
even
a
argue with
podcast P. So
I'm
all
done.
right, y'all. But
All right.
as far as the NBA ratings, they said they've been down. Do y'all got anything reason behind this whole? Wow.
I told you before. I told you a couple podcasts ago. It's mainly because of the way the game is refed. I think that it's several things they obviously do. I think to garner some more attention, but the most glaring problem is the way the game is refed. They too quick with these technicals. All that flagrant one, flagrant elevator to a flagrant two. If you blow somebody in the head and all that stuff is trash. Get that stuff out of the game. Nobody is necessarily outside of Draymond Green. Nobody's really trying to smack nobody for real like that. You got a handful of players at best who like to do little dirty stuff, and those are the kind of dudes you watch and you call technicals on them accordingly. But all the little incidental blows to the head that escalate to a 1, 2, 3 and ejections and all that's corny. The ticky-tack foul calls, I've seen players too many times go up with both hands and they get a little extra body contact. It's a whistle. Get that out the game, bro. You got them calls. You got to get them calls out.
Why?
Of the
Body contact shouldn't be called?
Huh? No, when you both going up, sometimes the players jumping into you go up and your bodies collide a little bit. No.
Oh well, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be if you're playing and going straight up and down defensive. It's not supposed to be a call.
Hey, when
you're going straight up.
What do you think?
I'm telling you what I think it is. It may be some of that what Ephraim's saying, but I think it's people basketballed out. This whole offseason they was forcing this WNBA stuff down the throat. Everything WNBA, you got to watch Caitlin, you got to watch this. Everything was watch basketball. Then you had the Olympic basketball. It's like we didn't have that break from basketball. So it's like, I think now people might be a little bit, you know what I'm saying, might be a little bit basketballed out right now. So
I can agree with that a little bit. And also to finish,
can I get mine since you?
No, but I just want to finish my point. What I was saying about the reason why I brought up the foul calls, because well-seasoned gamer, it has an impact on how many threes a team can take. If you don't call that many fouls, it allows you to be a little bit more aggressive at the 3-point line. So now when the defender try to get by you, if they get a little contact or if they stop in front of you like Brunson like to do, you're not calling every foul in the book. So it allows you to chase players off the three. So in actuality, if you call the game different, you will actually see less 3-pointers. Go ahead.
All right.
Robert Leo made a good point though. Go ahead, Tim.
I believe the reason is because of internet streaming sites like RB Take, Philly Talk podcasts, and Running Back Philly. So
I think it could be some of that where though people not buying, they're not seeing the viewership on the networks that they looking at, but you got a lot of people that watch stuff on streaming sites and stuff like that, so that ain't going to register. It's being watched.
All right, here's my thoughts. I had a chance to think about this the other day, and I realized they don't have any stars.
That's what James just said.
We don't. But here's the thing, though. The NBA did it to themselves. They killed their one star that they had emerging. They killed him. They destroyed them.
He destroyed himself.
But they killed. You don't kill them publicly, and they did that. They had one star that was coming up, and they fizzled. They put some sand and dirt on that star. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
John Morant did that to himself.
Morant. No, you're not a disciplinarian. You are in the entertainment business. Your product.
You also have a brand. Yes, the product and the brand. Yes.
You're killing the star. One thing about the NBA is all about the player. They don't wear masks. You see everything about visibility. If you're entertained by that person, you get him behind the backboard. You like Jordan. Jordan had a lot of issues growing up playing in the 90s. He had gambling problems. They always handed him in a dark room like, Jordan, you can't do this. We're gonna put you above everybody else, but you can't do these things. It's a lot of stuff that we don't know what happened, but you cannot dim that star. John Morant was that star for the NBA, and they killed that star. Now, what I would suggest, get him out of Memphis, get him into a big market, and try to repurpose that star, because he's the only thing that you really got going that you can market to the world. He's bigger than the basketball right now.
Where you thinking? I don't think markets like that matter anymore.
I do. Because of what happened to him in Memphis, get him out of there.
I can tell you something. If he still act like that in another place, he act like that in Memphis. Memphis is a black city. Let them get somewhere. Go to Indiana, something like that. Try that. Watch how fast he get rained out of there.
Why would we send him to Indiana? I'm saying send him to a city.
Where?
Some to Philly, some to New York, some to LA, send him to somewhere. He's your star.
Tim, I can agree with you a little bit. The only thing about it is the Jordan analogy is a little different because they didn't have social media. Mm-hmm. Once it hits social media, it's going to take a life of its own, just like they did with Puff, just like they did with all these other people, Jonathan Majors, who got accused of stuff and whatever. Whoever's guilty, I'm not here to argue all that. I'm just saying once social media gets a hold of it, now it takes on a life of its own. So the NBA has to try to get ahead of it for their product, for their brand, and do something. Now, I do agree with you. I think the suspension and all that was a little bit egregious. Sometimes you got to let the dust settle on its own by just letting them play. But see, the thing with Ja Morant, the main thing with Ja Morant is Ja Morant actually could have got his fame back if he keep playing. He hurt. He came back last year and got hurt. He came back this year. Guess what happened? He got hurt. Ja Morant is incredible. I'm on record saying Donovan Mitchell. I'm on record talking about. I just read his boy name. Ja Morant is next up. He's a freak athlete. The Bull got moves on top of moves like I ain't never seen before. I'm talking about the stuff this dude does. We seen this dude do like a 360 putback layup and all. He's doing stuff we ain't never seen before.
And then he
can get his star and his following back if he's available. He's been hurt a little bit too much. Maybe it's up to him to do some strength training or whatever he got to do to get his durability up. But he's missed a lot of games even after the suspension. What was the suspension? 25 games? How many games he played last year? So he missed the 25. He came back. Then he got hurt for the rest of the season after like 20
That's
games.
That's what happens when you don't play basketball. Then your body's not used because you didn't have that warm up.
But the same thing happened again this year. That's what I'm saying. He played basketball all summer and everything, and same thing happened again this year. So I mean, I think you have stars that you can actually build upon.
You can't. They gotta be American-born stars, though.
I mean, you got some. You got Donovan Mitchell. You got Anthony Edwards. You got Ja Morant. You got Tatum. Tatum has been playing incredible this year. That's why I do lean toward a little bit. I can acquiesce and lean a little bit toward what Wayne is saying. People may be a little basketball out because you actually have some American-born stars on the best teams right now in the NBA, and Tatum and Donovan Mitchell is two of them.
Yeah. But are they dunking and
Mitchell dunking? Tatum just had a crazy facial. Mitchell dunked on us last night. I mean, I know some of the high flying aspect is crucial, but they're playing good basketball and they're winning. They're a very good team.
Yeah, I'm looking. You know what's funny? I'm looking at Ja Morant. Ja Morant he's hurt pretty often. Except
that's what I'm saying.
All right, 2019. I know one of these years was the COVID year, but he had 67 games, 63 games. 57 games, 61 games, 9 last year, and then 19. So he's missed a lot of games. I mean, he got 17 this year, but 9 last year.
Yeah, he played less than I thought. I thought he got 20 games last year. So that's what I'm saying. He only had a 25-game suspension. So in all intents and purposes, he should have played at least 50 to 60 games, maybe 50 games. He
didn't have that warm. He didn't have that preseason and then have the regular season like that build up.
Body in shape. Obviously, he's not taking care of. I don't think either he's frail. Some people are injury prone. He may not be able to control that.
Yeah, I was with this podcast the other day where they were talking about John Stockton. You know, John Stockton played 19 seasons, and he played 82 games, like 17 years.
Yeah, he's the
That's why he did this leader. That's why he did this leader.
Yeah, probably
will never be patched.
Plus, he got some stats fudged as well too. We learned about that with his steals.
We learned about that, but he still was there.
No, he was there. No, Stockton was that boy. I'm not hating on Stockton. I'm just talking about some of his stats were inflated as well.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like,
but see, it was a lot of that stuff in the NBA. This is why when these old heads come on here and they start talking about the old school basketball and this is how it was back then and such and such was putting up these stats. It was so much. I still don't believe Wilt had 100 points in no daggone game. Like that's why you muted.
I believe it.
It's a whole bunch of them Jones where they had the home team was responsible for the stats. So you would see, like I remember back in the day, it'd be like you watching the game, you seeing the stats tally up. Then the next day it'd be like, oh, such and such had a triple double. Like, how you had a triple double? He was like 2 rebounds short. now the scorekeeper for the home team then tweaked it some way, and they done got him something on there. So I seen too many times of that back in the 80s and 90s where that kind of stuff was going on, bro. Like you can miss me with that. Talking about like, and I'm saying that to go along with what Ephraim said about Stockton with the stills and all that other stuff. It's a lot of them dudes that was a little suspect on the stuff they was given.
I agree. They have fanboys taking stats. That's the number one thing.
Remember they was breaking down about Mike. Remember they was showing about how it was Mike. They was doing the same for Mike.
Yeah. Stockton,
Stockton
was able to play 82 games because he couldn't jump. He isn't going to have knee injuries. That's
and he may not. But I'm gonna tell you what, that little 6 foot thin white boy used to set a mean back pick. Boy, he used to set a vicious back pick.
He was a great player. He was.
He played tough, but I agree with somebody said earlier that John Morant. They agree with me, saying he needs to get in the gym kind of like Jordan did when he was younger, and build his body up to be able to take some of the ground in the NBA season. Coming down on your knees, there's different plyometric exercise you can do to strengthen up your tendons and your muscles and all that kind of stuff and your joints. He got to do that, bro, because you got to stay on the court. I love watching John Morant play. It's 3 players I like watching play is LeBron, Steph, and Morant. I love watching them dudes play, and KD a little bit too. But I actually like watching John Morant more than KD. I like watching him play.
All right, y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. I believe the Sixers, do they play on Monday they do play Monday.
Yeah, Monday and Wednesday, right?
We play the Spurs tomorrow. On Wednesday, we play Boston.
Yep.
So like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And we're going to catch you on the next podcast.
Deuces.
Peace.
Oh, shout out to Ricky Anderson, too.